Hello, it's Mike with TradeWinds RV Center here to congratulate you on your Forest River R-Pod 192 travel trailer. I'm going to walk you around it and show you how to use a few things to get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start with talking about arriving at the campsite. A couple things to take into consideration when you're parking. On your campsite, I want you to leave plenty of room for that awning. On your off campsite, I just really want you to think about where your power and water connections are going to be. Your power is going to be right behind your tire and your driver's side of your tow vehicle, and then your water is going to be toward the front. So park accordingly so you can utilize the facilities at the campsite. Once you arrive, unhook our hitch. First thing we're going to do is level your unit. Unit comes with a power tongue jack, a night docking light. Should you arrive at night, simply raise or lower the unit until you're level. Now, should you lose power under this rubber stopper, you can get in here with the smaller hand crank you've got. There is a bolt in there. There you go. And you can get this up and down without power. Speaking of power, check your battery posts every now and then. Make sure those haven't wiggled loose over time. Once we got our unit level, next thing we're going to do is stabilize it. All four corners of the unit got these scissor stabilizing jacks. 3/4 inch hand crank. You can use a drill gun with a socket on the end. I just recommend you slow down when you get to the bottom if you do that. Now remember, our unit's already level. All we're doing at this point is stabilizing it. So as I bring these down, I'm going to recommend some stabilizing jack pads. Jack pads are going to protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt and debris, keep them from sinking into hot blacktop at some of the parks. Really good investment. Use your 10% off coupon, grab a 4-pack, throw them down on the ground, run these down just until they are taut. Remember, our unit's already level. We just want to stabilize it. So once it feels like you've got some resistance on here and it's going to lift the unit, go ahead and stop. Get all four of them down and we can hook up our power and water. Big long 30 amp cord plugs in here on the side, and your convenience pack will be a 30 to 15 amp reducer in case you need to plug into a 110. Got your power hooked up. Let's hook up our water. At campsites, we're going to hook up to city water connection. First and foremost, a water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator will reduce water pressure to 40 to 50 psi, protecting the lines of the unit. You don't know what the water pressure is at different campsites, so always use these. Hook that up. Hook up the hose coming to your convenience pack. Don't turn it on yet. Let's go find your hot water heater. Gonna be over here on the campsite. On the rear. Now all we're doing at this point, folks, is making sure our drain plug's back in there. And on rod, get a little plumber's tape around there, get it in there nice and snug, and then you can go ahead and turn that hose on. After that hose has been on for a few minutes, go inside, open up your water lines, get a nice steady flow of water going through them. Flush your toilet 2-3 times, get some water down into your black tank, and you're all set to camp. Now let's say we're going to go dry camping. Well, in that case, we're going to fill up our freshwater tank. No need for a water pressure regulator here. Simply gravity fill this with a hose. 2 ways to tell it's full. One, there's an overflow valve right here, or 2 on the inside where you check the levels of your black and gray tanks. There's also a freshwater button. Keep an eye on that when you're filling it up. Once it's full, put that cap back on there, and then whenever you want to utilize that water, you'll turn on your water pump indoors. Don't turn on your water pump and hook to city water. That's already pressurized. You'll be fine with that. All right, we're all set to camp. Got power and water. I'm gonna go ahead and walk you around the rest of the unit. Continuing here on the off camp side with the big pass-through storage area. Looks like you have an extra power cord so you can extend yours if you needed to. Stabilizing jacks, city water connection, or freshwater connection, city water connection, and freshwater drain right there, that white one. That's a vent for your hood range and doors. This is access to the back of your fridge for technicians. Flue for your furnace. A couple things on that. One, make sure it's never blocked. 2, if you are running your furnace, steer clear of that. It does get hot. And 3, they sell bug guards. You might want to pick one of them up and throw them on there. Your power, your cable for the campsite. Here's where we dump our black and gray tanks. We'll talk about that when we leave the campsite. And lastly, our low point drains. Coming around the back, we got a spare tire. I recommend trying to find a cover for that. Keep that from dry rotting in the sun. Got a ladder, utilize it. Go up there several times a year. Check the seams, your roof, and caulk as needed with recommended RV roofing caulk. You're prepped for a backup camera. Again, your hot water heater. If for some reason it doesn't seem to be working, come out here and look to see if either one of these are bubbled up and simply press them back in to reset. These are never an easy one-hand twist. Your awning, you do have a pull down pitch adjust. Say it's lightly raining and you want the rain to pull away, that's fine. I recommend bringing them in rain and any winds. Just save your awning. They're great for shade and you don't want to ruin that. Black over on this side, we have a black tank flush. We'll talk about that when leaving the campsite. We've got our black tanks. Quick connect spray port hose will connect over here. A couple of 110s. And the griddle in your pass-through storage will set on here with your quick connect LP right there. A couple of outdoor speakers and porch light. There is your griddle, table and stand for it. Your propane does come with a cover, just lefty-loosey to open. And lastly, your battery disconnect. That will disconnect all the battery power to the unit. What covers the thing out here? Go take a look on the inside. Alright, coming up side unit. First thing I always like to point out is the fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone is camping with you knows the fire extinguisher is located by the entry doorway in case of an emergency. Coming up to the left is our panel. Starting up top, this is a template for where it's pre-wired for solar behind here. If you ever want to put a solar panel on this, leave this on here so the techs know where to wire it at. Your awning. On your awning, you only want to run that out until that flap falls down and you can see your bar. If you continue to hit extend beyond that point, that will flip up onto itself and start rolling itself up backwards. Also on your awning, notice your door is kind of closed a little bit. If your door was all the way open, you could not open or close that awning. So make sure you watch your door when you're opening and closing your awning. LED lighting is right here for that. And I'll go ahead and run the rest of that back in. Here's our porch light. As that comes in, I'll tell you these doors work best when just gently slammed. Alright, coming up into the unit. I will mention this table will remove up off these legs. Put your tabletop on these rubber stoppers here. Throw the little cushions on top. Someone can sleep here. AM, FM, Bluetooth, auxiliary sound system. See if I can pick up anything in this metal building here. Might be able to. The zone's on. Just like in stations. And you hear it outdoors as well. But AM, FM, Bluetooth, nice system. Just don't pick up very well inside a big metal building. Your television, I just recommend when you get to the campsite, go into menu, run a digital channel scan so that you can pick up all the local channels at the campsite.
Be able to get a life insurance policy on
remote for your sound system as well. Coming in here, your bathroom door. This is one snap. You want to have this snap open for travel. Again, mentioning flush your toilet a couple times. Put a couple gallons of water in there when you first arrive at the campsite. Your black tank will thank you later. You have a hand crank open power exhaust vent in here. 4 different speeds for that. Shower. Heading out into the kitchen area. This is our return for our furnace. Find your thermostat, we'll get that cranking up. This is a vacuum system. Here's where you hook a vacuum up at. Pull this button back to get to your bag. You want to hook that up yourself. Turn this on. The vacuum from there, or lift this and it turns on by itself. Over here, breaker box and fuses. You have quite a variety in there. I see 315s, a couple 30s, a 40, and a 7.5. So I highly recommend having some of those with you when you go camping. 12 volt carbon monoxide propane detectors below your microwave. Mention that's 12 volt, that's always running off your battery. So if you are out dry camping and nothing plugged in charging your battery, that will run your battery down. So use that battery disconnect up front if you're going to be gone for the day. Our microwave, self-explanatory on that. Above that is our cooktop. I believe these are stick lighter, yeah. Turn that up on the high and light it with a stick lighter. Above that you've got a light and fan. Emergency exit window. Which brings me to sit down and show you your control panel. So next to your kitchen out here is where you'll see your brand new battery. Check your fresh black and gray tank. That fresh button's the one I said to hold down when filling up your potable water. Here's where you turn on your water heater. Here's where you turn on your water pump. Over here, 110 with GFCI reset. Smoke alarm. Below that, our thermostat. Let's start by cranking up the AC. Turn the temperature down. Alright, now you'll notice when I cycle through to shut the AC off, generally these shut off rather quickly. There we go. Now, you turn your furnace on. Get the heat, turn that up. Here's the return down there. Now what you'll notice when I shut that heat off, it's going to take about 2 minutes for that fan to cycle through and shut off. Which gives me enough time to show you how to set up your bed. We'll start by jackknifing our sofa down, lift up in the front, let it lay down. Release our lock over here on the side. I don't know if you can see that. Just bring that down. It's literally that easy. Charging ports and 110s on the side here. Lift this back up. Snap that into place in the middle of it, not behind it. And lift up the front and pull toward the back. You jackknife that back down. Some storage under there. And that about covers everything in here. So let's act like we're getting ready to leave the campsite and close the unit up. We'll start by going to make sure your vent in the bathroom is closed and that door is locked open. Then I'm going to shut off my interior lights. Then I can look and see if any accent lights need shut off on their own. They don't. This will shut them all off. Now I'll say doors and drawers. Walk through your unit. Make sure all doors and drawers are closed. Nothing's going to bounce around as we're traveling. Shut off our interior lights and exit the unit. Fold your steps up. Now if we are dry camping, boondocking, we're going to bring up these stabilizing jacks and come over here to this freshwater drain and drain that. And head on home or to the nearest dump station, whatever we're in need of. If we're at a campsite, we'll bring up our stabilizing jacks, unhook our water, our power, our cable, hook up our hitch, and head on up to the dump station. And that dump station parks accordingly. Dump's going to be behind your tires on your off-camp side, and you got a 10-foot hose. Reach up in there and pull that black handle. That's going to be your sewage. It sounds like that's no longer draining. Leave that black handle open, grab the hose at the dump station, and hook up to this black tank flush. Again, emphasizing leaving that black handle open. Turn this on and let it run for a good 5 minutes. It's going to wash all that nastiness out of your black tank. When that's done, remove that hose. Make sure all that washout water you just put in there has drained. Then close your black and pull your gray handle. While my grays are draining, I'll go ahead and dump my low point drains. When that's done, remove your hose and store it right here in your bumper. Nice sanitary place. Lastly, if you're done camping for a while and you don't want to leave stagnant water in here, lift up on this pressure release valve. Now be careful, some water's going to come out of there. When that's done, push that back down or your door won't close. Then you can pull your drain plug for your residual hot water and head on home. Again, thank you guys so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this iPod for many years to come. Happy camping.